right. Hey, excuse me. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. It's the Avid Investor Podcast with me, your host, Josh Adamek. And today I'm going to start by turning my cell phone off. Just as I hit the record, it was starting to make noises there. So had to grab that and shut it off real quick. So here we are. We're back. As I said, it's the Avid Investor Podcast. We're episode 62. And today I'm going to talk about Steel City Impact and the youth program and investing in our youth and investing in our future. But before I do that, I got a special guest here with us today. He's being a little shy right now. I don't know if you could see, but we got watching the video here. We got Turbo. Turbo's in the office. He's been hanging out with me here every day for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. So don't mind him. Just stepped away from the microphone if you're not watching on video, but that's Turbo. Now he's awake. He's paying attention. He'll probably pass out here again soon before long. So, but anyways, let's move on. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Steel City Impact and what we're doing there with the youth. So first off, what is Steel City Impact? Steel City Impact is a youth program that I am a co-founder of, and we serve underprivileged youth in and around Pittsburgh. Primarily right now, we're set up in the Stowe Rocks High School, Stowe Rocks School District over in McKees Rocks. So let's back up a little bit on that. How it came about is years ago, a friend of mine had a youth program, similar program out in Youngstown, Ohio. And we supported him for years. It's, outside of our hometown, but it's his hometown. It was his mission, his vision, and his work. So, as a friend, we supported him. We'd go out to Ohio. We'd go to the fundraisers. We'd go to the golf outings. We'd support, in person or, financially just support the mission as his friend. So, and for years, we'd push. I'd say, hey, man, we got to get this going in Pittsburgh. We need this in Pittsburgh. And he'd brush me off. Yeah. And I'd say it over and over again for probably, I don't know, 6 months, a year and a half. I don't know how long it was, but I kept saying every time we'd do something with his crew out there, I'd say, we need this in Pittsburgh. And one night we were all out to dinner, a group of us. There was maybe 8, 10, 12 people, something like that. Couples night out. So we were sitting around the dinner table. I think we were off the hook or something like that, sitting around the table and talking, BSing, and the youth program comes up, the Ohio youth program. And, my wife had mentioned to Simon, she says, hey, if you guys ever do this in Pittsburgh, you should be over in Stowe Rocks, over in McKees Rocks. And Simon looked at my wife and he says, McKees Rocks. And like a surprised look on his face. And she said, yeah, that area could really use it. And that's what I was thinking too. When I kept saying, we need this in Pittsburgh, I never brought it up, but I'm thinking, man, we should be out in over in McKees Rocks, over in Stowe Rocks, serving those kids over there. And little did I know that, Simon, the founder of the Ohio Youth Program, Inspiring Minds, he's Inspiring Minds Youngstown. He's was already out in Stowe Rocks supporting the school. So mutual friend of ours was the principal at the time, Sam Weaver. He was principal of the high school over there, doing amazing things. And the school over there struggles with a lot of things, and finances is one of them. So when the school would need something, Sam would reach out to Simon and lean on him for support. And Simon was doing a lot for the school down there. So he already had a connection to Stowe Rocks. So this was on a Saturday night. Sunday morning, I get a text. I don't know what it was, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. It says, "Are you serious?" From Simon. I said, "Serious about what?" ? He said, "The youth program." I said, "Yes. I've been serious. I've been telling you that for years. Let's go. Come on." And so that was it. That kicked it off. we got together, we talked more about it. We rallied some other close friends and business associates, and we all got together. And I think there was four of us at the time. We founded a youth program, which later became known as Steel City Impact. Once we founded the program, we rallied up another handful of board members for the board of directors, all business owners, local business owners, very successful business owners and high level business people influential business people in Pittsburgh, and a couple of current and former pro athletes we had on the board that were and are very well known. So we had about I think at the peak, we had about 12 board members when we launched the program. No, I think it was 10. It was 10 board members when we launched the program. And this was right at 2020, 2021, right during COVID, coming out of COVID, going into COVID, coming out of COVID, right around that time frame. I think we formed the program in December of 20, and if I'm not mistaken, COVID was like March 2021, early 2021, something like that. So we formed the program. We had big plans to serve the kids. We're going to go out. We're going to raise a bunch of money. We're going to contribute a bunch of money on our own, and we're going to hire a board of directors. This was our plans in late 2020. We're going to hire, we're going to raise a bunch of money, contribute a bunch of money on our own. We're going to hire a board of hire a full staff, not hire a board of directors. We're all volunteers. And we're going to hire a full staff. We're going to serve these kids. We had a plan to serve 30 kids the first year, 30 kids and 50 kids. And I think we're leaning towards serving 50 kids the first year. And that is, when you map everything out, it's a very husky financial commitment to where, it's pretty much running a business with no revenue. Your revenue is through your own contributions and your fundraising. There's no product or services being offered to where it creates revenue, but there's all the expenses that go along with running a business. So it's a pretty husky commitment, and we were ready for it. We were geared up for it. And then COVID hits, the shutdown hits. Schools are closed, businesses are closed, all this crazy stuff. I don't have to get into it. Everybody knows, what we experienced during the start and the peak of the shutdown. It was just complete chaos. And, it drug on and on and on and on and on, especially here in Pennsylvania and Western Pennsylvania. It just seems like it was never ending. So anyways, we're shut down. We had our plans, we got this youth program kicked off. We're ready to start serving the kids. And, we're not sure what's going on. There's the school shut down, then it's open, then it's hybrid. It's, part shut down, part open, a couple of days a week. And we're like, we have no idea how long this is going to last. We have no idea, what's going on here, but we do know that we have a mission to make an impact and serve the kids. And I'm not sure what Turbo just did. He just kind of like jumped off the couch backwards or something. But anyways, we had a mission to serve the kids there. So, one way or another, we were going to do that. So we took a step back, and made a common sense business decision. We're like, it's not fair if we go out and hire all these people, executive director, program managers, this person, that person. It's not fair that we go out and hire all these people and then find out that we can't sustain the program. We can't continue to serve these kids because we were working out of the school, right? So school shut down. We can't have a youth program there. So what we did as the board of directors, we said, hold on, let's pause. Let's take a different approach. We want to serve the kids, but we don't want to make commitments to people that we can't, hold up to, or we can't continue to maintain. So as the board of directors, we went to Sam, the high school principal, and said, here, what we're doing. This is our program. This is our plan. We're just going to come in as the board of directors. We're all going to take turns, and we're going to spend some time with these kids and serve these kids. So, here's what we want you to do, Sam. Give us a dozen kids that could benefit from what we do and what we're offering here. So Sam went to the high school. He picked out 10, 12, 15 kids, whatever it was at the time. And we had a meet and greet, with the kids on a Tuesday evening, Thursday evening, whatever it was. We went down there, the entire board of directors. We got together, went down to the school, met with Sam. Sam had all the kids, the 10, 12 kids in the cafeteria there, and then we told the kids, we're like, hey, this is what we want to do, and like typical, youth, teenage fashion. Most of the kids were radio silent, man. Didn't want to say anything. Didn't want to talk. There was a couple of kids, they started opening up, warming up after a little while, after half hour or so, when we're sitting around talking with these kids. And, but for the most part, these kids were on guard. Like, what are you guys doing here? What do you really, what's going on here? And we're telling them, like, this is what we do. This is who we are. And this is what we're offering you guys. We're offering you guys an opportunity, to learn from us as the board of directors, to spend some time with us. We want to share, our experiences and we want to take you guys to experience different things in and around the city. So that's what we did. We went, we mapped it out, we planned it out. Board of directors, we each took turns. There was 2 or 3 of us there each time. We'd spend time with the kids. We'd go down there. We'd ask them about their day, go through their day, help them with their homework if need be. And we just go over some basic stuff, basic manners. Stand up when you shake somebody's hand, look them in the eyes. Please, thank you. We'd go over some basic financing. We'd go over, basic business structure. We talk about the different businesses and the different ventures that we were involved with. And then, we'd spend some time at the school, and then we typically take the kids somewhere. We took them one day on a tour of all of our businesses. We took them to active construction sites. Up on Mount Washington. We took them to Grandview Avenue, and this was blows my mind. We go up to Grandview Avenue. These kids are from McKees Rocks. There was four or five kids with me in my car or in my truck that day, and we go up to Grandview Avenue, and we're looking at the overlook, checking out the city. And this is a mile away from where they live, from Mount Washington to McKees Rocks. And 3 out of the 4 kids have never been to Grandview Avenue. They've never seen the city. So when we talk about the youth and just exposing them to different things, I mean, that's as close and as cheap. It's free. And, 3 of the 4 kids were never up there to see how beautiful our city is from the overlook there. So we took them on up to Grandview. We took them to Mount Washington to see some active construction sites. We took them down to Heinz Field. Ryan, a friend of ours, Shazier, he's on the board. He talked about opportunities in professional, being a professional athlete and different opportunities in pro sports. We went out north. We went out to visit the Hope Learning Center. We went out to visit Arias Insurance out there. We went out to Jimmy Wan's. Had lunch out there. Jimmy talked about opportunities in restaurants. So we did about 8 or 9 stops that day, and just an amazing day. So that was a trip that we took. But every other time we were down there with the kids during that period, we'd go over some basic stuff. Then we go out to dinner. We take them to the aviary. We take them to the Heinz History Center. We take them. There's a number of different places that we took these kids and just experienced different things. So with all that, it was really a blessing in disguise for a lot of us on the board of directors, because it gave us the opportunity to get to know these kids and learn these kids, and learn what these kids were about, and the struggles that they faced, and the things that they were, the mission and the visions that they had for their future, and how we could help them obtain those visions. So it was really, really, really special, and it was a great opportunity for us and the board to be down there and spend time with the kids. So if we fast forward now to where we're at, 2025, I guess we're 4 or 5 years into the program now, and once we got through all the COVID stuff and the shutdowns and schools were back up, we had a nice base for the youth program. We hired an executive director, and it took us we went through a couple of different, executive directors, but fortunately, after before too long, we hired our current executive director, Tyra Grant, who is an absolute a blessing. She's amazing with the kids. She's former high level basketball player, former police officer. She was involved with the youth program out in Youngstown, Ohio. So she's familiar with what we were trying to do. And she came on board and took the bull by the horns and just ran with the program. She knows our mission, our vision, and she took it and ran with it and grew the program. And she's doing amazing things, amazing things. So where we're at right now is there's an after school program that's 3 days a week, where we serve the kids, and then we do a 6-week summer camp throughout the summer. That's an all day summer camp. And what we do, what Tyra does. So we have Tyra, the executive director. We now have a program director, and then there's a few assistants. And at any given time, there's about 40 kids in the program right now, sometimes closer to 50, sometimes, downwards to 35, 38. But there's about, 40 kids in the program. So if we take our numbers and we track our metrics. So what's very impressive, what always gets me is we take a look at last year's numbers, last school year, and that's what we have start to finish. We haven't closed out this school year yet, but we track throughout the year. So last year would have been the year 2024. We started the program with 38 kids, or no, we started with over 40 kids. With over 40 kids in the program, and at the beginning of the school year, there was one student on honor roll. At the end of the school year, end of 2024, we closed out the year with, I believe it was 32 students on honor roll and 38 kids meeting or exceeding our minimum standards. So if you just take a look at that, I mean, that's amazing in itself. So how we track this on a regular basis is, we call it the kids got to earn the bag. It's behavior, attendance, grades. And, Tyra and her team, they track that pretty consistently and very detailed. So behavior, attendance, grades, the kids gotta hit all three of those: one, to earn their keep in the program, and two, to get their awards. And I think it's we do a regular family night where we do an evening event where parents, relatives are welcome to come to the event. They do different game nights and things like that. We typically have some food, have it catered. And then, the kids are given their awards for behavior, attendance, grades, and just recognized for their hard work and dedication to the program. So, and then with that, the kids can earn, along with their awards, they can earn trips. So about once a month, well, back up, during the after school program, we do homework, hold them accountable. Tyra's on them about their homework, their grades, their schoolwork. We do We have different speakers, guest speakers that come in and they do different programming, team building activities, things like that. Talk about new health, nutrition, different things. So that's it for the after school program. And then once a month, they go on a field trip where they have to earn it. And sometimes it's a local field trip, roller skating. They've been to the wave pool over the summer. They've trying to think where else they've been. I think they went to the zoo the one time, and then we do destination trips as well. They go to Kalahari at the end of the summer camp. They went last year with about 30 kids that earned the trip to Kalahari, which is an indoor outdoor water park. And every year they go to DC, Washington, DC for some history. There's the Black History Museum. They go and tour there. They take a tour of Howard University. There's many other things. I mean, everybody knows there's DC is loaded with history. So they spend a couple of days out there. And again, that's the kids that earn their trip. So do the trip to DC, do the trip to Kalahari, do the local trips. Every year at Christmas time, the kids have an opportunity to earn a little shopping spree. So the kids that are on honor roll or on track to be on honor roll get to go to the mall with us, the staff and the board of directors, and they all have started. Everybody was getting a pair of shoes, and then that not everybody could find the right pair of shoes, so that morphed into everybody gets a $200 gift card to go shopping. And we go around with the kids and we help them find things. Some get shoes, some get sweatsuits, gear, jackets, whatever they want at the mall. They got their $200 to spend. So we divide and conquer as the board of directors. We each take a group of kids, go to different stores. It's a great time spending time with these kids. And we go out to dinner and celebrate afterwards. And again, all these trips, the kids have to earn it. They got to earn their keep. So, we invest a lot into the youth there, but really, I mean, they earn it. So they get their trips, they get their shopping sprees if they earn it. But really, we're just there to hold them accountable. The summer camp is no different. Summer camp is 6 weeks long. There's some there's an educational piece, there's an athletic piece, and then there's the team building piece. And through the summer camp they got to earn their keep on that as well. So all in all, it's a really, really special thing that we have going down there for the kids at Stowe Rocks High School. So what's the plans for the future? Plans for the future are to be determined. Plans for the future, the growth of the program. We went from a dozen kids up to 50, 60 kids, and then we scaled back down. Right now, we're serving about 40 kids, and that seems to be a good number in that 35 to 40 to where we can make a big impact with the kids, and not just trying to have massive numbers and put big numbers on the board, because it's all about serving the youth and serving them properly. So that's where we're at right now. We look at this on a regular basis, and we don't have immediate plans to 5x, 10x the program or anything like that. As much as great as it would be, we want to make sure that we're serving these youth. So over time, we will continue to grow the program. We have talked about it, and so let's talk about why Stowe Rocks for a moment. I just glazed right over top of that. So why we chose Stowe Rocks in the Keys Rocks area, it was simple. It's outside of the city of Pittsburgh. Completely cut off from any city of Pittsburgh resources. Not that there's many, but there are programs in the city of Pittsburgh for the youth. There are youth programs. There's several that are in City of Pittsburgh schools, but there is nothing in McKees Rocks. There's nothing for these kids other than sports. There's nothing for these kids down there to keep them off the streets after school. There's no programs as far as I'm aware. There's no other programs. There's no other youth programs down there. And if you look at the demographics for McKees Rocks and Stowe Township, it's very, very sad. 3 housing projects in 1.5 square miles, highest crime rate per capita in our area. I mean, there's kids shooting at each other in the streets, violent crimes on a regular basis. Tyra, our executive director, in our team, she's down there all day long, not just for the youth program, but she's down there working out of the school. She has an office in the school. And the school is on lockdown, on a regular basis for violent crimes, happening right outside the school, right down the street. There's things that happen in the school, and it's very, very sad to see that our youth is caught up in this. I mean, kids that are living in the projects and seeing violent crimes right out in the courtyard, and having to emotionally accept that and digest that. It's just it's an absolute shame. One of the students involved in our program, his mother was shot, and she was pronounced dead at the scene. And Tyra gets wind of that. She goes right down there to be with the family. And this is like on a Saturday afternoon or something. She goes right down there to be with the kid. Fortunately, the mother was transported to the hospital. They were able to revive. They were able to save her. She's last we heard, she was and this wasn't too long ago, but she was doing better. She was recovering. But that's the type of thing that these kids deal with. And it's so heart-wrenching. And that's why we're down there. The kids need us. The kids need us there. Yeah, there's kids that have challenges everywhere, in every school, in every zip code, in every community. There's kids that have some sort of challenge they're facing everywhere. But we chose McKees Rocks and we chose Stowe Rocks for that reason. And some of the other challenges that these kids face is like, that when they eat lunch at school on Friday, that might be the last real meal they have until Monday. So when we have the after school program, we're feeding the kids. I mean, they feed them every day. And Tyra will tell us, there's kids that come and say, "Hey, can I take a sandwich for my brother? Can I take something for my mom? Can I take this?" And like, how do you say no to that? When these kids are 12, 13, 14 years old, and they're looking to feed their little brother or feed their little sister, or get something to eat for their mom. And same thing when we go to the Christmas shopping, when we take the kids to the mall. It's the same thing. Like, these kids, they have this $200 gift card, which, when I was a kid, if somebody handed me $200, I mean, that's like life-changing amount of money. Right. So, these kids are saying, "Hey, can I buy a pair of shoes for my mom? Can I get this for my mom?" And it's like, why don't you buy something for yourself? If you want to get something for your mom, go ahead. We're not going to stop you, but this is for you. You earned it. So these kids earn things, and they want to give it right back, and bless their parents, or bless their little brother or their little sister or something. It's just amazing. So that's that. I mean, that's why we're in McKees Rocks. And I'm going to wrap it up with this. I mean, I'd mentioned that, it takes a lot to run this program. It takes a big financial commitment to, we're running a business without revenue. There's nothing that this business generates that creates revenue, but it has all the expenses of a business: the staff, the insurances, feeding the kids, the trips, the programming, everything. It costs a lot of money to run this program. So How we fund it is, it started with the board of directors. I mean, we would self-fund the program, and then as we grew, we're like, hey, we got to do some fundraisers. So we started doing fundraisers, and we only do like 2 or 3 a year. We started with a VIP cigar event, which we started at Napa Prime, then went down to Burn by Rocky Patel. It's a VIP event. We do a high ticket price. We get some local athletes and celebrities to come, and we do that once a year. And it's like on a Thursday late afternoon, something like that. And high ticket price. We'll do some raffles, do some auctions, things like that, and we'll raise some money at that cigar event. And then we do another event, which we did a few times. We did a gala and a wine tasting down at the casino. So we did that event, another big event. Takes a lot to put those events on. So we did the gala, did the wine event, and those went really, really well. We are blessed with the amount of support that we have from you guys and everyone in our network to continue to come to these events. So we did that a couple of times. This past year, instead of going down to the casino for a gala, we did a Fall Fest event, which was out in a field, tents in a field, out in Wexford, Mars area. It was lined. We had live music. We had fires going. We had vendors lined up around the whole thing, like cigar vendors, food, drinks, different things like that. And we had a big party, and it was great, amazing time. We did that event went well. Fortunately, we were blessed with really good weather that evening, so that was a little cheaper, lower ticket price than the gala, because it was lower cost for us to put on. So at the end of the day, it's all about serving these kids. So we did that Fall Fest again. I think we'll do that moving forward. And then coming up here, actually next week, a week from today, we have our very first golf outing. That's going to be at Treesdale. We've got it packed already. I think we closed out the whole sponsorships. There might be something left. There might be sponsorships left, one or two. I think we're very close on filling it up with the foursomes. We might have a couple of room left for a couple of golfers. But all in all, this is our first golf outing, and it's set to be a real banger. But if you wanted to, try to come in last minute and join us next Monday at Treesdale, just go to I think it's eventbrite.com, go to Steel City Impact and find the golf outing. If you want to come and you need the link, just text me, message me, hit me up, and I'll send it over to you. But golf outings are always fun. I'm not even a golfer. I don't like to golf, but I'll do a couple, one or two of these outings a year. So it's going to be a good crowd there, a lot of fun. So, that's that. And then, we've been working consistently. We've been working pretty hard to try to obtain some grant funding. We do have some support from the FOR, Father Orion Arts Center. They received a big grant, and they've been supporting us, with some programming and some things through their grant funding over the last couple of years. But we've really been pushing hard trying to secure some of our own grant funding. But all in all, it comes down to the board of directors and those couple of fundraisers that we have every year. So people always ask me, how can I help? How can I help? How can I get involved? Well, first off, I mean, please, if able, support any one of our fundraisers. And that goes directly to the kids. Again, board of directors, we're all volunteers. We spend time to run these events, and we contribute to every one of the fundraisers. We contribute to the program outside of the fundraisers, and to continue to serve these kids and grow the program. I mean, we need your support as well. And many of you listening to this already support, and we're super, super grateful for it. I can't thank you enough. But the more kids we want to serve, the more of an impact we want to make, the more it costs. So we got to keep doing our thing on the fundraisers and trying to work on this grant funding. So that's it. That's what I got. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that because I am super excited for the upcoming golf outing. It's set to be an amazing event. I know the other room in my office here is full of stuff. to take to the event, and it's just going to be really cool. So, with that, I want to wrap it up and thank you guys so much for tuning in. So that's it for today. We just wrapped up episode 62 of the Avid Investor Talk podcast, where I was talking about investing in our youth through Steel City Impact. So, of course, I got my man Turbo here. He's passed out on the couch behind me, but that's what he does best. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great day, and just hit me up if you have any questions or need anything. Thank you.